Ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you with one message. You are a queen. Start acting like when a queen is not just someone who wears a crown. A queen is a woman who knows her worth, stands in her power, and refuses to shrink for anyone. She walks with confidence, speaks with authority, and carries herself with grace, knowing that her presence alone is a statement. A queen never doubts her value. She understands that her worth is not determined by external validation, material possessions, or the opinions of others. Instead, her value is rooted in her essence, the way she carries herself, the kindness she extends, and the wisdom she shares. Knowing your worth means acknowledging that you are enough just as you are, without needing to prove yourself to anyone. It is about recognizing that your presence alone holds power, and you do not have to shrink or change to fit someone else's expectations. Too often, society tries to dictate a woman's worth. It tells her that she must look a certain way, act a certain way, or meet unrealistic standards to be valued. But a queen does not let the world define her. She understands that her worth is not measured by her relationship status, her job title, or the number in her bank account. She knows that her value comes from within, and no one can take that away from her. Knowing your worth also means refusing to settle. When you recognize your value, you will not accept relationships, jobs, or situations that do not align with your self-respect. You will walk away from anything that diminishes your light, understanding that what is meant for you will never require you to lower your standards. A queen knows that being alone is better than being in a space where she is not appreciated or respected. Self-worth is also about how you speak to yourself. The way you think about yourself determines how you allow others to treat you. If you constantly criticize yourself, doubt your abilities, or tell yourself you are not good enough, the world will reflect that back to you. A queen practices self-love. She speaks words of encouragement, celebrates her wins no matter how small, and lifts herself up even when no one else does. Confidence is a direct reflection of knowing your worth. A queen enters any room with her head held high, not because she is better than anyone else, but because she understands that she belongs. She does not compare herself to others because she knows that her path is unique. Instead of feeling threatened by other women, she celebrates them, knowing that another queen's success does not take away from her own. Setting boundaries is another powerful act of self-worth. A queen does not allow toxic energy into her life. She does not entertain disrespect, manipulation, or negativity. When you truly know your worth, you understand that your time and energy are valuable, and you will not waste them on people or situations that do not honor you. You do not explain or apologize for protecting your peace. You simply do what is necessary for your well-being. Knowing your worth is a lifelong journey. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when you question yourself, when life tests you. But a true queen never forgets who she is. She reminds herself of her strength, her resilience, and her power. She stands firm in her truth, knowing that she is not just enough, she is extraordinary. Confidence is not just about how you look, it's about how you feel about yourself. A queen does not wait for someone else to validate her. She knows her worth and carries herself accordingly. When she walks into a room, she owns her space. Her posture, her energy, and her presence all communicate that she believes in herself. Confidence is not arrogance, it is self-assurance, an unshakable belief that you are capable, deserving, and powerful. The way you carry yourself physically plays a huge role in confidence. Straighten your back, lift your chin, and walk with purpose. Your body language sends signals not only to others but also to your own mind. When you present yourself with confidence, your brain starts to believe it. Even on days when you don't feel your best, Standing tall and moving with intention can shift your mindset and help you step into your power. Confidence is also about your voice. A queen does not speak timidly or apologize for existing. She articulates her thoughts clearly, knowing that her words have weight. She does not downplay her ideas or hesitate to express herself. The world listens to those who speak with conviction. And when you believe in your own voice, others will believe in it too. One of the biggest killers of confidence is comparison. A queen understands that she is in competition with no one but herself. She does not waste time measuring her success against someone else's. Instead, she focuses on her own journey, knowing that her path is unique. Confidence comes from embracing who you are, flaws and all, and understanding that no one else can be you. Confidence is built through action. The more you push yourself out of your comfort zone, the stronger you become. A queen does not let fear stop her from going after what she wants. She takes risks, learns from failure, and keeps moving forward. She understands that mistakes do not define her, they shape her into a wiser, stronger version of herself. Dressing and grooming also play a role in how you feel about yourself. A queen takes care of her appearance, not for others, but because she values herself. Whether it's wearing an outfit that makes you feel powerful, styling your hair in a way that makes you feel good, or simply practicing self-care, looking your best helps you feel your best. When you invest in yourself, you send a message to the world that you respect yourself. Most importantly, confidence comes from within. It is not about having everything figured out or never feeling insecure. It is about choosing to believe in yourself, even when doubt tries to creep in. A queen does not wait for permission to shine, she steps into her greatness unapologetically. A queen never settles for less than she deserves. She knows her worth and refuses to accept anything that does not align with her value. Settling often comes from fear of being alone, fear of missing out, or fear of failure. But a queen understands that settling is not an option because it leads to a life of regret and unfulfilled potential. She would rather wait for what she truly deserves than accept something that does not honor her worth. In relationships, refusing to settle means not tolerating disrespect, dishonesty, or inconsistency. A queen does not beg for love, attention, or commitment. She does not chase after people who do not see her value. Instead, she walks away from anything that does not serve her, knowing that the right people will recognize her worth without her having to prove it. She understands that being single and at peace is far better than being in a relationship that drains her energy and makes her question her value. In her career, a queen does not settle for being underpaid, undervalued, or overlooked. She knows her skills, talents, and the value she brings to the table. She does not stay in a job where she is not respected or given opportunities to grow. Instead, she speaks up, sets boundaries, and demands the success she deserves. If a door does not open for her, she builds her own. A queen does not wait for permission to succeed, she creates her own opportunities. Refusing to settle also applies to personal goals and dreams. A queen does not shrink her vision just because others do not understand it. She does not give up on her ambitions because they seem difficult or out of reach. She sets high standards for herself and commits to the journey, knowing that greatness requires patience and persistence. Even when challenges arise, she refuses to lower her expectations just to make things easier. A major part of not settling is having self-respect. A queen does not allow people to mistreat her, undervalue her, or take advantage of her generosity. She knows when to say no, when to walk away, and when to demand more. She does not accept excuses, manipulation, or half-hearted efforts from others. She holds herself to a high standard, and she expects the same level of respect from the people around her. Not settling also means not compromising your happiness for the sake of pleasing others. A queen does not stay in places where she is unhappy just because it is comfortable or expected. She understands that she has one life to live, and she refuses to waste it living for others while neglecting herself. She prioritizes her own joy, well-being, and peace, knowing that true fulfillment comes from honoring her own needs. Most importantly, refusing to settle is an act of self-love. It is choosing yourself, your happiness, and your future over temporary comfort or validation. A queen knows that she deserves the best, and she has the patience and strength to wait for it. She does not compromise her standards out of desperation. She trusts that what is meant for her will come in due time. A queen knows that setting boundaries is not selfish, it is necessary. Boundaries protect your energy, your peace, and your self-respect. They define what you will and will not tolerate from others. Without boundaries, people will take advantage of your kindness, drain your energy, and leave you feeling exhausted. A queen understands that she cannot pour from an empty cup, so she prioritizes her well-being by setting clear limits in her personal and professional life. Setting boundaries in relationships is essential. A queen does not allow disrespect, manipulation, or toxic behavior in her life. She makes it clear what she expects in friendships, family relationships, and romantic partnerships. If someone continuously crosses her boundaries, she does not hesitate to distance herself. She knows that love should never come at the expense of her self-worth, and she refuses to tolerate behavior that makes her feel less than she is. A queen also sets boundaries with her time and energy. She does not overcommit or say yes to things that do not serve her just to please others. She understands that her time is valuable, and she chooses to spend it wisely. Whether it's declining invitations that drain her, stepping away from negative conversations, or limiting interactions with people who bring unnecessary drama, she prioritizes her peace over people pleasing. Boundaries are also important in the workplace. A queen does not allow herself to be overworked, underappreciated, or taken advantage of. She speaks up when she feels undervalued, asks for the compensation she deserves, and refuses to let others take credit for her work. She does not let fear keep her in situations where she is not respected, and she is not afraid to walk away from environments that do not align with her self-worth. Emotional boundaries are just as important as physical ones. A queen does not absorb other people's negativity or take on emotional burdens that do not belong to her. She recognizes when someone is projecting their insecurities onto her and refuses to internalize it. She understands that it is not her job to fix or carry the weight of everyone else's problems, especially at the expense of her own mental and emotional health. Communicating boundaries is a sign of strength. A queen does not feel guilty for expressing her needs or enforcing limits. She understands that people who truly respect her will honor her boundaries without resistance. And if someone reacts negatively to her setting boundaries, she sees it as a clear sign that they benefited from her lack of them. She does not allow guilt or fear to keep her from protecting her peace. Most importantly, a queen stands firm in her boundaries. She does not let pressure, guilt, or manipulation make her compromise her standards. She understands that setting boundaries is an ongoing practice, and she remains consistent in enforcing them. She knows that by respecting herself first, she teaches others how to respect her too. A queen understands that power is not something given to her, it is something she claims. She does not wait for permission to be strong, confident, or successful. Instead, she steps into her power by recognizing her abilities, owning her voice, and refusing to be silenced. Power is not about controlling others. It is about controlling yourself, your thoughts, your actions, and your reactions. A queen knows that true strength comes from within. Embracing your power starts with self-belief. A queen does not doubt her capabilities or question whether she is good enough. She knows that she is capable of achieving anything she sets her mind to. Even when faced with challenges, she does not let fear hold her back. She understands that fear is just a test, and the moment she chooses courage over doubt, she unlocks her true potential. A queen is not afraid to take up space. She does not shrink herself to make others comfortable. She walks into every room knowing she belongs there. She speaks with authority, knowing that her words matter. She is not afraid to express her opinions, share her ideas, or stand up for what she believes in. She does not let society, criticism, or insecurity silence her. She owns her presence. Taking ownership of your life is another way to embrace your power. A queen does not blame others for her circumstances. She takes responsibility for her choices. She understands that while she cannot control everything that happens to her, she can control how she responds. She refuses to play the victim because she knows that her power lies in her ability to rise above obstacles and keep moving forward. A queen also embraces her power by trusting her intuition. She listens to that inner voice guiding her, and she does not ignore red flags or settle for less than she deserves. She understands that her instincts are powerful, and when something does not feel right, she has the courage to walk away. She does not second-guess herself when making decisions because she knows that she is capable of choosing what is best for her. Part of stepping into your power is recognizing that no one else can define you. A queen does not allow others to tell her who she is or what she should be. She creates her own identity, embraces her uniqueness, and refuses to conform to expectations that do not align with her truth. She is unapologetically herself, knowing that her individuality is what makes her powerful. Most importantly, a queen knows that her power is limitless. She does not let past failures, mistakes, or setbacks define her. She rises stronger each time she falls, knowing that resilience is part of her strength. She embraces every challenge as an opportunity to grow, and she refuses to let anything or anyone diminish her greatness. A queen understands that growth is a lifelong journey. She does not remain stagnant or settle into comfort zones that no longer serve her. Instead, she continuously seeks knowledge, challenges herself, and strives to become the best version of herself. She knows that evolution is not about perfection, it is about progress. Every day is an opportunity to learn, to improve, and to step closer to her full potential. Personal growth requires self-awareness. A queen takes time to reflect on her strengths, weaknesses, and areas for improvement. She is honest with herself about where she is and where she wants to be. She does not ignore her flaws or pretend she has all the answers. Instead, she embraces self-reflection as a tool for transformation. She understands that true power comes from knowing herself deeply. A queen also embraces change. She does not resist growth out of fear or attachment to the past. She understands that life is constantly shifting, and she adapts with grace. She welcomes new experiences, explores new perspectives, and remains open to opportunities for self-discovery. She does not cling to outdated versions of herself. She evolves into someone even stronger and wiser. Learning is a key part of evolution. A queen is always expanding her knowledge, whether through books, experiences, or meaningful conversations. She invests in her education, personal development, and skill building. She understands that knowledge is power and she never stops seeking it. She knows that every new lesson learned adds to her strength and confidence. Growth also means letting go of what no longer serves her. A queen does not hold on to toxic relationships, negative habits, or limiting beliefs. She understands that in order to rise, she must release the things that weigh her down. She is not afraid to walk away from situations that hinder her progress because she values her evolution more than her comfort. A queen welcomes challenges as opportunities for growth. She does not fear failure because she understands that setbacks are part of the journey. Instead of seeing obstacles as reasons to quit, she views them as lessons that make her stronger. She learns from every mistake, adjusts her approach, and keeps moving forward with resilience and wisdom. Most importantly, a queen remains committed to becoming the best version of herself. She does not compare her growth to others or rush her journey. She understands that evolution is a personal process and she honors her own pace. She celebrates her progress no matter how small, knowing that every step forward is a victory. She is not just existing, she is constantly becoming. A queen understands that true strength is not about standing alone but about uplifting others. She knows that empowering other women does not diminish her own power, it multiplies it. She does not see other queens as competition but as allies, knowing that when women support each other, they create unstoppable forces of success, resilience, and change. Jealousy and comparison have no place in a queen's mindset. She does not envy another woman's success because she knows that her own path is unique. Instead of feeling threatened, she celebrates other women's victories, understanding that another queen's rise does not take away from her own potential. She knows that success is abundant and there is room for everyone at the top. A queen lifts others by offering encouragement and guidance. She does not hesitate to share knowledge, resources, or advice that can help another woman grow. She understands that mentorship and sisterhood are powerful tools for success. Whether through words of encouragement, acts of kindness, or simply showing up for others, she makes sure that the women around her feel valued and supported. Supporting other queens also means being a safe space. A queen does not engage in gossip, negativity, or tearing others down. She refuses to be part of toxic conversations that undermine or belittle another woman's journey. Instead, she speaks words of empowerment, reminding other women of their worth, their strength, and their potential. She chooses to inspire rather than criticize. A true queen stands beside other women, not just in moments of celebration, but also in times of struggle. She offers a helping hand, a listening ear, and a heart full of understanding. She recognizes that every woman faces battles and she chooses to be a source of strength rather than judgment. She does not turn away when another queen is in need, she stands with her, reminding her that she is not alone. Collaboration over competition is the mindset of a true queen. She seeks to build partnerships, to work together, and to create opportunities for mutual success. She understands that when women unite, they break barriers, shatter limitations, and create legacies. She knows that true power is amplified when women support and uplift each other rather than compete for recognition. Most importantly, a queen leads by example. She embodies the spirit of empowerment in her words, actions, and mindset. She sets the standard for how women should treat one another, proving that when queens stand together, they rise together. She knows that the world needs more strong, confident, and united women, and she chooses to be part of that movement every single day. A queen understands that her story is her power. Every experience, every challenge, and every triumph has shaped her the woman she is today. She does not hide from her past or feel ashamed of her journey. Instead, she embraces every chapter, both the good and the difficult, knowing that they are all part of her unique and powerful narrative. She refuses to let anyone else define her story because she alone holds the pen. Owning your story means accepting where you have been without allowing it to limit where you are going. A queen does not let past mistakes, failures, or hardships define her future. She understands that growth comes from adversity and every setback has only made her stronger. Instead of dwelling on regrets, she uses her experiences as stepping stones to rise higher. She knows that her past does not dictate her destiny, her choices do. A queen also understands the importance of self-acceptance. She does not wish to be anyone else because she knows that her journey is unique and valuable. She embraces her scars, her lessons, and even the moments of struggle because they have contributed to her wisdom and resilience. She refuses to compare her path to anyone else's because she knows that every queen's journey is different and there is no single definition of success. Telling your story unapologetically is another way to own it. A queen does not silence herself out of fear of judgment. She shares her truth boldly, knowing that her experiences may inspire, uplift, or even help someone else heal. She understands that vulnerability is not weakness, it is strength. By owning her truth, she gives others permission to do the same. Owning your story also means letting go of shame. A queen does not allow society, past failures, or negative voices to make her feel unworthy. She recognizes that every challenge she has overcome is proof of her resilience. She refuses to let labels, opinions, or past wounds dictate how she sees herself. Instead, she stands tall, knowing that her journey is something to be proud of. A queen takes full responsibility for her story. She does not blame others for where she is in life. She understands that while she cannot change the past, she has complete control over her present and future. She makes choices that align with the woman she is becoming, and she refuses to let circumstances dictate her worth. She owns her narrative, knowing that she has the power to rewrite any chapter at any time. Most importantly, a queen wears her story like a crown. She does not let pain or past struggles make her bitter, she lets them make her better. She turns every challenge into a lesson, every setback into a comeback, and every hardship into a source of strength. She walks with confidence, knowing that her story is not one of defeat, but of triumph, resilience, and unstoppable power. A queen does not dim her light to fit into someone else's expectations. She knows that her power comes from being true to herself, not from seeking approval. She does not water down her personality, change her values, or shrink herself to make others comfortable. She embraces every part of who she is, her strengths, her quirks, and even her imperfections, because she understands that authenticity is the foundation of confidence and self-respect. Being unapologetically authentic means standing firm in your beliefs. A queen does not follow the crowd just because it is easier. She is not afraid to speak her mind or live by her own values even when others disagree. She knows that staying true to herself may cost her some relationships, but she would rather lose people who do not accept her than lose herself trying to please everyone. She honors her truth above all else. Authenticity also means being honest about your emotions. A queen does not pretend to be happy when she is not, nor does she hide her struggles to appear strong. She understands that true strength is found in vulnerability and that owning her emotions is a sign of self-awareness, not weakness. She does not mask her pain or suppress her joy. She allows herself to feel deeply, knowing that every emotion is valid. A queen refuses to live by society's standards of who she should be. She does not let cultural expectations, outdated norms, or the opinions of others dictate her choices. Whether it is how she dresses, how she speaks, or the way she lives her life, she makes decisions based on what feels right for her, not what others think is acceptable. She understands that she is the author of her own identity, and she does not seek permission to be herself. Being unapologetically authentic also means embracing change while staying true to your core values. A queen knows that personal growth is necessary, but she does not lose herself in the process. She evolves, learns, and adapts, but she never compromises her integrity. She allows herself to grow into the best version of herself while remaining grounded in who she truly is. A queen is not afraid to stand out. She does not try to fit into a mold or blend in just to avoid judgment. She understands that uniqueness is a gift, and she wears hers with pride. Whether it is in her career, her personal life, or her creative passions, she refuses to conform just to be accepted. She would rather be respected for who she truly is than be loved for a version of herself that is not real. Most importantly, a queen knows that her authenticity is her superpower. She does not waste energy trying to be someone she is not because she understands that her real power lies in her truth. She embraces her individuality without fear, knowing that being herself is the greatest gift she can offer the world. She walks boldly, speaks confidently, and lives unapologetically, inspiring others to do the same. A queen understands that setbacks are a part of life, but she refuses to let them define her. She knows that challenges, disappointments, and failures do not make her any less worthy. They are simply stepping stones on her journey. When life knocks her down, she does not stay there. Instead, she takes a deep breath, straightens her posture, and fixes her crown. No matter how difficult things get, she reminds herself of who she is and keeps moving forward. Fixing your crown means embracing resilience. A queen does not crumble under pressure, she rises above it. She understands that strength is not about never falling, it is about always getting back up. Even when faced with heartbreak, betrayal, or loss, she refuses to let pain break her spirit. She allows herself to feel, to heal, and then to push forward with even greater determination. A queen also knows the importance of self-reflection. When things do not go as planned, she does not dwell on self-pity or blame others. Instead, she looks inward and asks herself what lessons can be learned. She understands that every challenge carries wisdom, and she uses those lessons to become wiser, stronger, and better prepared for what lies ahead. She does not let failure make her bitter, she lets it make her better. Fixing your crown is also about reclaiming confidence. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when the weight of responsibilities feels overwhelming, or when others try to make you question your worth. A queen does not allow those moments to shake her self-belief. She reminds herself of her accomplishments, her strengths, and the battle she has already won. She stands tall, knowing that no challenge is greater than the power within her. Keeping moving forward means refusing to stay stuck in negativity. A queen does not let setbacks make her stagnant. She does not waste time complaining or wishing things were different. Instead, she takes action. She refocuses, makes adjustments, and finds solutions. Even if progress is slow, she keeps going, knowing that every step forward, no matter how small, is still progress. A queen also understands that fixing her crown does not mean she has to do it alone. She surrounds herself with strong, supportive people who uplift her when she needs it. She knows that asking for help is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of wisdom. Whether it is through prayer, mentorship, or friendship, she embraces the power of a strong support system to help her navigate challenges. Most importantly, a queen never lets temporary struggles make her forget her permanent strength. She understands that no situation is too difficult to overcome, no setback is too big to recover from, and no mistake is too great to move past. No matter what happens, she keeps walking forward with grace, resilience, and unwavering determination. She fixes her crown, straightens her shoulders, and continues on her path stronger than before.